anyone who's followed college basketball understands this city, understands the allure of Madison Square Garden. The first time I coached in Madison Square Garden was last year. It's a Big East tournament. I was a little nervous. When you're out there and you know the people that have played on that floor, walked those sidelines before you, it's a pretty special deal, I think, for any coach.
3.5 weeks till the Big East tournament takes center stage at MSG. All the action coming your way live on FS1. Coverage begins March 9th at 7 Eastern. NBA All-Star break. Guess who's back at Hinkle Fieldhouse for the first time since he left for the Celtics? Brad Stevens, part of the Butler whiteout.
6'6" senior from Edmond, Indiana, number 24, Kellen. Legendary Hinkle Fieldhouse, standing room only, folks. 9,100 in attendance as the red-hot Butler Bulldogs are all set to play Xavier. Big East College Hoops on Fox is sponsored by Jeep Renegade. Take off and take on anything. The one we've been waiting for. Hardest ticket to get in town as Xavier, ranked 5th in the nation, prepare to take on the Butler Bulldogs. And the standings in the Big East Conference, Villanova the #1 team in the nation and #1 in the Big East at 11-1. Providence beating Georgetown today. Xavier right behind Nova. Butler 6-6, getting better every day. Hi everybody, Gus Johnson along with former Ohio State legend Jim Jackson, and welcome to Naptown, Jimmy. Big game. As you look at Butler, 3 straight wins coming off that victory on the road against Seton Hall. And here's a team, when they get ready to take on Xavier, top 5 in the nation, they're looking forward to this one.
Oh, they are. This is a resume-building game for Butler. Coming off an opportunity of 3 wins in a row, this could be huge for them right now. And for Xavier, a chance to bounce back from a rough shooting night at Creighton, but also stay close to leading Villanova.
All right, time now to join the 3rd member of our team on the sideline, Molly McGrath.
Thank you, Gus. Now, despite the loss to Creighton on Tuesday, Xavier coach Chris Mack is confident in his team, telling me this is a competitive group. We were coming off a loss the last time we saw Butler and responded well, and I expect the same today. Now, Coach Mack said that mental mistakes were the biggest issue in Tuesday's loss and acknowledged that this atmosphere will be a challenge. Fans were out here heckling players over an hour before tip, but Mack's message to his team is you can't let this environment change you, guys.
All right, thank you, Molly. Let's take a look at the starting lineups brought to you by Jeep Renegade. Take off and take on anything. And when you look at both squads, Jimmy, who jumps out at you?
Well, for Xavier, I think Jalen Reynolds at the beginning of the game has to establish himself inside. And also for Butler, Keelan Martin is hot. Get the ball in his hands.
And your officials for today, Mike Roberts, Brent Hampton, and Nathan Farrell. Last meeting between these two teams, Xavier beat Butler 88-69 in Cincinnati on January 2nd, shooting 56%, scoring 42 points in the paint. Toss in the tap, and we're underway. Here's Roosevelt Jones.
Can you feel it, Gus?
Yes.
You want to lace him up and get out here and play a little bit?
No, I got a bad back.
I got bad knees.
All right, so Butler. Travis. Cut off. Spinning inside. The leader. Rebounded. And stepped back in, and all of a sudden, Butler goes out in front on their home court.
And Butler feels confident, Gus, coming off the Seton Hall game, that they can rebound with this bigger, longer, athletic Xavier team. Prime example, Wyman inside, with putback.
Here's Abell, the Indiana transfer, far is their leader emotionally. Reynolds from Detroit, drop step, beautifully done.
Ain't nothing for him. When he's down that deep, able to go one-on-one, and when he makes a quick decision, Gus, he's virtually unstoppable in the post.
Reynolds with 17 points against Creighton on 5 of 15 shooting. He also had 9 rebounds and 2 blocks. Now Keelan Martin curling down the lane, cut off. Guarded by Miles Davis, so he's got a height advantage. Roosevelt Jones. Rosie getting to the bucket.
Just crafty. The move wasn't quick, but it was decisive. Poor baseline and help side defense by Xavier that time.
Roosevelt Jones, 10 points, 4 rebounds on Wednesday against Seton Hall as the Bulldogs won that game on the road for their 3rd straight win. Blewett baseline step back jump shot. He's back at home. He's from Naptown. And Trey Blewett knocking down the jumper, went to Park Tudor High School where he averaged 30. Jimmy, I know he's a man that you like.
Well, I like him a lot because he's dedicated himself to get in better shape. And as a result, he's more efficient and effective on the court via that step back move right there was just open.
Outdone him. On the baseline, Travis, good look, drives, gets to the hole, good pass. Travis, such a wise player and a turnover as Dunham steps in the passing lane and comes up with the steal. He's got a quick trigger, folks. Inside, trying to wrap it around, loose. Blewett the other way, down the lane. Blewett left hand high, no.
Frenetic pace a little bit early.
Now Martin, who's really been burning it up, averaging 26 a game, splits the defense, the teardrop short, gets his own rebound there. Keelan Martin.
The young man can play. The thing is, Gus, his mindset hasn't changed as much. Coming off the bench and now it's starter, his goal is to attack the rim, take high-quality shots, and defensively lock in.
Had a 35-point game here against Georgetown, coming off a 23-point game. Now Reynolds picks up a cheapie, trying to create space with Weidman. Chris Mack, Xavier head coach, 46 years old, mid-season National Coach of the Year by Sporting News. And when you talk to his players, they have no problems with Coach Mack if they play defense.
Well, if they play defense, you're going to be on the court. But here's the thing this Xavier team has to do, guys. They have to match the intensity which Butler is now coming out with this crowd and themselves. And right now, Butler has that early edge.
And Chris Holtman, 44 years old, his 2nd season as the head coach. Took a team, picked 7th and finished 2nd last season before winning a game in the NCAA tournament, 23-11, 1 year ago. Butler coming in with a 17-7 record, 6-6 in conference play. And the officials taking a look to see if Reynolds threw an elbow.
Yeah, once again, anything above the chin, but it looks like underneath, he got up underneath the arm and shoulder, Weidman right there, but the elbow may have caught him in the chin. See what the officials, might be a better angle right here.
Chris Holtman was an assistant under Brandon Miller for 1 season after coaching Gardner Webb for 3. And when Miller had to take a leave of absence, Holtman was named interim coach to start last season. In January, it was announced Miller would be returning, and the interim tag was removed. Another look. Ah, come on, Jimmy, that's a left tap. It's not an elbow.
It's not an elbow. Officials have to look at it. Hopefully, it's not one of these things where a foul is, intentional is imposed right here on Jalen Reynolds. But again, a lot of times it's not if it's intentional or not, Gus.
So it's not a flagrant foul, it's a common foul. And Coach Mack elects to leave Jalen Reynolds on the bench after he picked up his first. So here we go.
And Macura is on the court. They're going to do a better job of straight line drive, taking that away from Butler. Too many easy, uncontested layups early in this game.
Travis Dunham has yet to take a shot. Jones with the unorthodox game. Gets to the hole, off the heel. Loose ball, Miles Davis pulls it down. He'll bring it into the front court. Blewett, back to Davis, rising fire. And hits.
It's funny, Gus. When we were out here, you talked about Davis got to hit some shots. And he said, I got you tonight. This afternoon. And right there's a prime example. Even though he's been struggling, didn't think about it, stepped up and knocked it in.
Xavier shot 1 for 21 from the three-point line against Creighton on Tuesday. Travis. Baseline pure. And he's off to a good start. 4 points for Andrew.
And Andrew is averaging in games last year about 17 points a game, so he feels very comfortable that he can score against this Xavier team.
Here's Farr. cross court. Macura, he's got range. And hits.
J.P Macura, a three.
Underrated asset of James Farr in the post, Gus, is the ability to see the defense and pass out of it. That time and on target to Macura for three.
We're level at 10. Xavier Butler, got it.
Keep an eye on that matchup with Remy, Abell, and Dunham.
Now Jones driving, gets to the hole, uses that great frame.
Gus, so crafty. Just a little swing through, not quick, not fast, but so effective. That's just maturity and understanding how to play, man.
Macura, guarded by Martin. Far calling for it. He's got it on the box. Baseline spin, and he traveled. Third turnover for Xavier to start. Roosevelt Jones.
Hey, listen, Gus, if guys at the YMCA right now say, listen, if Roosevelt Jones can do it, I can do it. Crafty, not quick, but effective. Roosevelt Jones putting that big body, finishing inside.
Fox College Hoops is sponsored by the Ford F-150. Every other truck is history. Butler up by 2 here in the first half. Now let's go to Molly McGrath, who's standing by with a very special guest.
That's right, Gus. I'm here with former Butler head coach and the current head coach of the Boston Celtics, Brad Stevens. And Coach, this is your first time back at Hinkle Fieldhouse since leaving for the NBA. What is it like to be back?
Well, it's not my first time back, but it's my first time back at a game. Like, we've been back to see the renovations and to be back. First thing we do when we see the All-Star break and then Butler's schedule come out is see where they play and when they play. And we saw they were playing Xavier here today. You know, it was a no-brainer for our family to come back. My kids are 10 and 6. This is where they want to go to school. So this is it's a pleasure to be back.
This is an iconic building in college sports. What's your favorite memory here at Hinkle?
Too many memories in the games to really think back to, but I think my favorite memories are always being here early in the morning with our team at those 6:30 a.m. practices where no one else was in the building. The sunlight started coming through the windows. Pretty special place.
All right, thank you, Coach. Gus, back to you.
All right, thank you very much. All good dogs come home.
I love it. I love it.
Brad Stevens was a Butler assistant from 2001 to 2007, head coach from 07 to 13, 2 Final Fours, 2010 and 2011. Unfortunately, Bulldogs lose it to Duke and UConn.
What a run they were able to put together. And Brad not doing a bad job with the Celtics right now.
And a whistle and foul on the floor coming up as Kellen Dunham drives the ball to the basket.
And you can see the emphasis, Gus, with Butler not to settle for jump shots, to really attack this Xavier team off the dribble, force them to have to guard and maybe pick up some fouls.
Miles Davis calls for the foul. Here's Martin, lost it. Blew it the other way. He's got Macura. Baseline, Davis. He's feeling it now. He's hit his first 2. Miles Davis has 6. Both threes.
Only takes one, Gus. You see the ball go through. The next one is a lot easier to get through. Xavier switching to the 1-3-1 defense.
Xavier 19-0 when shooting 40% or better. Now Dunham wraps it around Jones. Baseline, Martin, deep jump shot. Short, loose, blew it with the board. Here comes Davis. Reynolds back in the game, playing with 1 foul. Across the lane, drop step, off the block, short. Trying to bat it in, gets his own rebound. No, and a loose ball foul coming up. And that'll be the 2nd foul on Jalen Reynolds.
Now, that's tough, but Jalen hustling in the previous play. You talk about running the fast break, and you got to identify your guys. And right now, Miles Davis already hit one in the corner. Excellent quick pass by Macura. Money in the corner by Davis, and you just can't. You got to identify and can't leave the three-point shooter open. Jalen Reynolds frustrated right now. 13:55 in the first half, and 2 fouls already out of the game. Let's see how Xavier makes that adjustment inside.
Foul comes back in to replace him. Down. And they lose it. Macura the other way. Macura down the lane. Loose ball picked up Here's Jones. Numbers. Dunham for three. Martin with a rebound. Underneath. Gets it again. And out of bounds. That's Keelan Martin. The ball touching the baseline.
The perfect time to get up a three-point shot in transition because now you have numbers underneath. This time Butler not able to corral the offensive rebound and score.
So here's a talented freshman, Sumner from Detroit. He's got great ability. Fluid, spinning. Picks up his dribble. Sumner, incredible off the dribble if he gets a crease.
So athletic, man, off the bounce.
Davis, held bent to the basket. And offensive foul. And that's the second on Miles Davis.
Well, you talk about help defense. This time, Austin Edmond not staying attached to his man, gets himself in position, guys, to absorb the contact and take the charge. And coaches always talk about this. Play support on the back line. And that's something Etherington was able to do.
Miles Davis called for second foul. He hits the bench. Abell replaces him. Xavier in the zone. The lob baseline. Martin makes the catch. Goes up strong. Counted on the foul for Keelan Martin.
I tell you what. Keelan Martin just wanted this ball more. James Farr was in a position to get and steal the basketball, but Keelan Martin just wanted it more and able to grab it and not only gather himself, but absorb the contact and finish with his left hand.
I called the Butler Providence game with your pal, Donnie Marshall. And during the game, he was saying that this kid reminded him of Paul Pierce. And I said, what are you talking about? Donnie, I know you're listening. You were 100% right.
He has a game where he doesn't overwhelm you with a lot of things, but he just knows how to play. He gets to his spots, raises up. You see the athletic ability he has inside. People forget how athletic Paul Pierce was when he was at Kansas in college.
Out of Ballard High School in Louisville, Kentucky, not recruited by Kentucky or Louisville. What was Rick Pitino and John Calipari thinking? Let the kid from home.
They weren't. That's the
Long jump shot, Macura, no. Rebounded by Dunham. Here comes KD, popping into the front court. Baseline. Etherington. Lewis is checked in now. Tyler Lewis, backup point guard. Baseline. Keelan Martin, mid-range jump shot. In and out. Etherington dives forward, gets it. And looks like a kick ball.
Yeah, early on we talked about a bounce-back game for Xavier, three-point shooting after 1 of 21 against Creighton. Right now, open shots, able to catch him with him and knock him down, and that's a really good sign if you're a Xavier fan that they're able to knock down these shots early.
Martin, the inbounder. Travis a jumper. And Drew Travis has 7 early. Butler with an 18-13 lead. Across the lane, jump hook. That went way off the mark for Sean O'Mara. Etherington deep. Loose. Martin has it stripped out of his hand, stolen by Etherington. Now Dunham for three. Bang! KD for three. 9-0 run, Butler. And listen to this crowd. Abell answers. Last time they played each other, Remy Abell with 21 points.
What a pace to this game, but the senior able to step in and knock it down, but Butler doing everything right versus his zone.
Ball batted out, picked up by Macura. Now he'll fire that ball in transition if you give him a look. Inside, O'Mara, nicely done.
Smart play. Macura that time attacked the Butler defense in transition, shifted everyone below the free throw line, but was able to get O'Mara for a little trailing in jump shot, jump hook inside.
Travis down the lane. Too strong. Martin tries to keep it alive. Martin gets his own rebound. Keelan Martin will go to the free throw line. These two schools separated by about 2 hours. It's Cincinnati versus the Nat. Xavier, Butler, Fox. Tonight, 25 of the best drivers in the world will go under the lights in Daytona in a 75-lap sprint for the first checkered flag of the year. Don't miss one of Speed Week's most exciting races. The Sprint Unlimited begins tonight at 8 Eastern, only on Fox and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. 21-18 Butler. Let's go inside the huddle with Chris Holtman.
Yeah, listen, we got to talk quicker, earlier, louder, point in transition down here, okay? All right, we've had 2 run into the ball too much. Point, talk. Hey, listen, they can still feel us a little bit more right now, okay? I don't think they're feeling us at this end enough.
All right, so let's go to Molly McGrath.
On Xavier's side, Chris Mack very, very frustrated with his team, telling them they need to do a better job of rebounding the ball. He wants them to take advantage of more of those second chance opportunities. And on defense, he wants them to focus more on stopping Kellen Dunham, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Molly. Butler with 10 second chance points. Actually, they're shutting out Xavier in that category, 10-zip. Also, Butler leading points in the paint, 12-4. As Martin goes to the line.
And Keelan Martin himself has 4 offensive rebounds. A very key. Chris Holtman in the huddle talked about communication. When it's loud and ruckus, you can't hear each other. So you got to communicate, pointing, get guys in position. Well, now you're not playing 2 guys on 1 player in transition. That's where Xavier is really tough.
Keelan Martin, a 77% free throw shooter, at a team-high 23 points on 7 of 13 shooting and 10 rebounds on Wednesday against Seton Hall. His 6th double-double. And the second one good. Not only is he a good free throw shooter, Jimmy, but he knows how to get to the line.
He does know how to get to, but it's that savviness and understanding. But the more he's played, the more comfortable he has gotten for not only playing well, Gus, but being relied upon to make some big plays.
Sumner driving, kicking, Macura with a good look, and rattled it home. J.P Macura, that's his second 3 of the game.
And think about this, guys. The way they're getting their 3-point shots, dribble penetration. As soon as someone is open, the ball is in their hands.
Roosevelt Jones driving, strip, picked up Tyler Lewis. Jones now cutting across the lane, and O'Mara with a rebound.
How about Travis? I talked about averaging about 17 points a game on this Xavier team last year. Just a comfort zone when he plays against them, whether that's getting the ball in the post or it's stepping out, hitting a 3. Confidence is so big when you play against a team like Xavier. Travis has it.
Weidman called for the foul. First foul against the Bulldogs. Macura, O'Mara, blew it. Abell and Sumner. O'Mara on the box. Big fella, banging, drop step. Easy. Was that?
Well, how about the feel? The bump, and then knowing the baseline was open, got his man Weidman in the middle of the lane and able to finish inside. Smart play that time by O'Mara.
X-Men on a 10-2 run. Levels it at 23. Weidman. Let's see if they look to get the ball to this man, Martin. 4 to shoot. He's got to hurry up. Jones forces it. And blew it. Picks up the board. Butler getting back on defense quickly.
That's better defense, identifying where the ball and open shooters were at.
Baseline Macura again. .23 up. 8:37 to play. First down. Butler's won 3 in a row. Xavier's ranked number 5 in the nation. Martin on the baseline. In and out.
So tough to guard one-on-one. The ability to create in the air and then even off balance a little bit, guys, to have a soft touch to allow the ball to secure him right in.
Keelan Martin with 9 and a foul called on Roosevelt Jones up top.
Now, if you're going to play one-on-one in the post, you got to understand that you can't allow the ball to get in the middle. And that time O'Mara able to identify with his eyes looking into the middle, knowing that baseline was going to be open. Wyman has to take away the baseline a little bit more in order to stop that play.
Sean O'Mara, sophomore, 6'10", Glen Ellen, Illinois. He was scoreless in 3 minutes against Creighton. Now Sumner driving down to the basket and lays it in. He's got a quick first step and he's long.
But he understands, too, how to get and beat his defender once he gets his shoulder by. And once he elevates Gus, who's going to stop him and meet him at the top of the rim?
He's 6'5", out of Detroit Country Day. Chris Webber. Shane Battier's school.
Yeah.
Now Travis gets it again. Leans in. Rolls off. O'Mara with a rebound.
Good defense that time by Gates, holding his position, even though Travis was able to get up underneath, not able to finish.
Sumner. Baseline. And Macura lays it in. Great look by the freshman, Edmond Sumner.
Well, the ability, again, to break down the defense and get deep within the paint. It sucks the defense. And O'Mara smartly didn't just stay in the corner. He darted back door for an easy layup.
2-point lead, Xavier. Dunham. And he throws it out of bounds. The one criticism that I have of Kellen Dunham, he doesn't shoot it enough.
He should.
Meanwhile, Sumner with the great eyes as he finds a cutting Macura. Butler. Hinkle Fieldhouse. Xavier, 27-25. Fox College Hoops is sponsored by Progressive. Make it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. Gus Johnson, Jim Jackson, Molly McGrath with you from Hinkle Fieldhouse, 27-25. X-Men on top of the Bulldogs. Let's take a look at our Progressive game summary, Jimmy Jackson.
Xavier right now, 10 bench points, but shooting over, a high percentage of points, coming in transition to also layups. Butler started off fast, second chance points, battling on the boards. You know this game is going to go back and forth. Let's see who can kind of extend and stress themselves out, give themselves a little breathing room.
And this series dates back to 1936, and actually this is the third conference in which these two schools have been rivals, as they were both members of the Atlantic 10 and what is now the Horizon League. So Kaiser Gates checks in now for Xavier. Where's number 22? Terrific athlete.
Long athlete too, Gus.
Larry Austin Jr. as well. Here's Austin. Abell takes a deep jump shot. Far, kept it alive. And knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Kaiser Gates. Xavier leads this series 36-18 and has won 15 of the last 19 meetings, including a 19-point blowout January 2nd in Cincinnati.
In that game, the Butler coaching staff was really frustrated with the fact that Xavier was able to really beat Butler off the dribble, attacked him. That was one of the key elements they wanted to take away from Xavier in this game.
Wyman inside, outside, Dunham. Wyman down the lane, nice move. Can't get the layup. Farr takes it down.
And a couple of those opportunities for Butler inside, missed some little chippies. Those who come back to haunt you later on, Gus.
Since being down by 8, Xavier on a 14-4 run the last 4 minutes. O'Mara and Macura with 9 of the 14 down the lane. That one rims in for Abell.
And as a coach, you're going to be frustrated because Remy was able to come from outside the three-point line, turn the corner, Gus, no resistance, and then finish at the rim without a contest.
Butler, when they need a basket, they have to go to Keelan Martin. They need to keep his hands full. There he is. Out of bounds and deflected by Xavier.
May not be a straight line drive, but it was looped around by Remy Abell. And right now, where's the help in the middle? Roosevelt Jones jabbed at it, but you have to force the opponent to pick up the basketball and pass it out.
And they'll throw it in the backcourt. Martin goes up high, takes it away from Austin. Keelan Martin. He's got to be a little selfish. Far with another rebound.
And that's the shot you take all day for Xavier.
Abell exploded, blocked by Travis. What a job. He got up high. Martin down the lane, spinning, pumping, leading. And that one goes down for Kaiser Gates. He shoots it well, timeout Butler. Musketeers exploding off their bench.
Listen, Travis may not be the most athletic, Gus, but he understands timing. Not getting this today, buddy. Travis trying to secure. The Butler stays close, but in transition once again. If it's free is for me, give me three.
Fifth-ranked Xavier with a 32-25 lead. Daytona Day is coming up, and everyone is getting excited.
Hey, Terry, how you feeling about Daytona Day this year?
Joe, I'm pumped. I'm psyched. I'm ready to go.
That sure is an unexpected amount of enthusiasm, big man.
It's the great American party. What's not to get excited about?
Bring on Daytona Day.
All right, everybody excited about the big race coming up.
We got to be there, Gus. We should go down and kick it a little bit, Daytona.
I wouldn't mind.
Get on the infield a little bit. Feel the revs.
I got to work. Here's Roosevelt Jones. Travis Dunham on the handoff. Jones now slicing. Out of bounds, and Xavier ball.
Xavier basketball.
Xavier on a 19-4 run over the last 6 minutes.
Well, they've been able to get stops, and consecutive stops, Gus, and that's what you got to understand for an opposing team. When you're on the road, crowd is into it. The way you quiet the crowd is not only scoring, you limit the home team to scoring as well.
Xavier shooting 62% in the first half. James Farr. Bread and butter, they call it. And he traveled again. Fifth turnover for Xavier.
Well, that time Farr saw a little resistance from the crowded space inside and wanted to pivot, which was the right move. That time just shuffled his feet on the attempt to get a basket inside.
Kaiser Gates checks out. Sumner back in. Austin will guard. Jones. Dunham. Curling. Down the lane. And he traveled. Fourth turnover for Butler. 32-25. Chris Mack and his guys well prepared on the road. All right, Sumner, thank you very much. 32-25. The X-Men on top of Butler on the road. The Big East standings with Providence winning. Butler trying to even up with the Friars with the win today. Xavier trying to stay close to the #1 team in the nation, the Villanova Wildcats.
Yeah, and all of this is just muddled up right here in the middle, and that's where you want to be if you're Butler, because it gives yourself a chance to sneak a couple wins and continue to pop up. Important game also, again, talking about building your resume against a top 25 team, which Xavier is.
So Harry Austin Jr. brings it up with Sumner in the backcourt. Abell, 3 guards on the floor for Chris Mack. Blewett. Trey Blewett with 5.
I think it was getting missed here, guys. Xavier is shooting over 60% from the field, okay? In their win at home, they shot 56%, 47 for 3.
Martin in the paint. And that one goes down. Nicely shot by Jackson Davis. Butler, though, has to step it up on the defensive end. Xavier getting anything they want. Abell, hesitation, down the lane, left hand counted and the foul.
Remy scores the foul.
And guys, Because as a scorer, you set the pick and roll a little bit, you figure out how to get inside, and you penetrate. Again, the second time Remy Abell has been able to turn the corner, and here it is, giving yourself up. You set the screen, and then you make a pop out. Guess what? Now you're open for a shot. Scorers know how to get open, guys.
Abell had 14 against Creighton on Tuesday, a career-high 21 points against Butler in the first meeting. 8 points now for Remy Abell, largest lead of the game. For Xavier. Martin. Inside. Lost it, no call. Austin, 3-on-2. Abell, and it's thrown out of bounds.
Austin lost a handle right there, but I tell you what, you saw the limb of Sumner that time inside against a taller Keelan Martin, but just his long arms enable him to get a little piece of a shot.
Get into the act offensively. They need him.
They do, but give a lot of credit to Remy Abell, who's staying attached to his hip.
Martin blocked by Farr. He says, get it out of here.
And that's where the weight loss right there, Gus, allows him now to elevate a little bit more.
Sumner step back Jay off the heel. Martin with a rebound. Macura guarding Martin inside. Davis rejected again by James Farr.
And he told him a little something after that block.
Abell to the hole. Remy Abell, explosive first half. Xavier on a 27-6 run in the last 8 minutes.
What an explosive play! Block shot. You get it up quick, Gus, and then you attack the rim. No answer for Butler.
Xavier is taking this crowd completely out of the game. Dunham. Travis a three. They need it. Martin with a rebound. Power dribble gets to the hole and lays it in. Keelan Martin with 11.
Yeah, much needed basket. Kind of stemmed the tide. Now you got to get a stop on defense.
And a travel on Abell. A little too quick.
It's all about positioning inside. James Farr said, get that out of here, not this afternoon. And then the quick decision by Sumner to get it to Remy Abell, using the rim as a protector, reverse, easy basket inside.
Remy Abell, although he traveled on that play, he has 10 points in the first half. He averages 6 a game.
Well, think about the job he's doing. We talked about stepping up to the plate, accepting the responsibility to shut down Kellen Dunham, which is not an easy task because he's always on the move. But Remy Abell staying attached to his hip, not making it easy for Dunham to get some easy looks.
Butler 2 for their last 11. Swarming defense by the Musketeers. Roosevelt Jones, he's been quiet offensively, and he's fouled. As Kaiser Gates tried to ride him out of the lane.
By that time, Kaiser Gates was just too up and down. Roosevelt Jones got below the waistline and was able to initiate the contact, and the young freshman right here will have to learn how to guard against a guy whose center of gravity is a lot lower.
Roosevelt Jones.
In for Xavier, number 2, James Farr.
A 72% free throw shooter. James Farr took a quick blow. He's back in. Jones, his jump shot, not pretty, but usually effective. Not this time. Farr with another rebound.
And how instrumental has Farr been? I mean, not making shots on the offensive end, but rebounding and playing solid defense, blocking shots, what they needed.
40-29 Xavier. Back to Hinkle right after this. Big East Hoops returns to FS1 on Tuesday as Creighton battles Butler. Then Wednesday, it's a doubleheader, starting with 20th-ranked Providence taking on 5th-ranked Xavier, followed by Seton Hall, Georgetown. It's all on FS1, sponsored by the Jeep Renegade. Take off and take on anything. 40-29, Xavier. James Farr's had a great first half. 5 rebounds, a few block shots.
An outstanding help defense by Xavier, making it tough for Butler to get any clean looks in their half-court set. Important defensive stop right now for Butler before they go into the half.
Xavier bench outscoring Butler 17-2. Miles Davis got those 2 fouls. Sat down. Now he's back on the floor. Blew it. Double jab step to the basket. And a foul on the floor.
Keelan Mark has to step in and not just use his arm as a deterrent. He has to slide his body in position in order not to pick up a reach foul like that.
Martin picked up his second foul. "20 seconds ago, shot clock turned off. Davis, pure."
I was just about to say, you want to take that and wind the clock down and attack at 8. Miles Davis said, listen, I'm hot. I'm taking the shot.
Third three-pointer of the first half for Miles Davis. 5 seconds to go. Here's Jones. Down the lane, off balance, and Sumner with the board. In the last 11 minutes of the first half, Xavier on a 30-8 run. Musketeers shooting 65% in the first half. Remember, they're 19-0 when leading at halftime. Let's go to Molly McGrath.
All right, thanks, Gus. Coach, you struggled with it earlier in the week, but those three-point shots are definitely falling today. Your thoughts on your offense in the first half?
Well, I think we're taking better ones. You know, so many of our threes at Creighton were off one pass. I think today we've gotten the ball in the lane. We've gotten ball reversal, and because of that, our looks are a little bit more, clean than they were on Wednesday.
How do you like how your team has responded to that loss to Creighton?
I mean, I like it, but we've got another 20 minutes to go. I mean, anytime you can go into Hinkle and have a 14-point lead, it's a good thing.
All right, thank you, Coach. Gus, back to you.
All right, Xavier, 8 of 11 from the three-point line in the first half, and that's the end of the first half. Xavier 43, Butler 29. We'll send you to Rob Snow, Casey Jacobson, and Donnie Marshall in Los Angeles for the Jeep Renegade halftime report right after this.
Hey, win this Ashley Sofa and Love Seat. Design comfort.
Big East College Hoops on Fox is sponsored by Jeep Renegade. Take off and take on anything. Hinkle Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. The Musketeers leading on the road 43-29. And moments ago, our Molly McGrath had a chance to talk with Butler head coach Chris Holtman.
Coach, Xavier shooting over 65% in that first half. What was your message to your defense in the locker room?
We got to guard. We got to guard. I mean, we didn't guard for 20 minutes there. Okay, they didn't feel us in any way. Give them credit. They made some shots, but if we don't guard, we're not going to have a chance.
All right, thank you, Coach. Gus, back to you.
All right, that was Xavier's highest shooting half of the year, 65%.
I think what's important, Gus, is how Xavier was able to get their shots, in particular from the three-point line, 8 of 11. Chris Mack talked about against Creighton, it was one pass and then a shot. Well, in this game, it was pass, shot. In transition, you got an opportunity to get open. The ball is in your hands. You're able to catch it in rhythm and knock down the jump shot. So Butler has to do a better job of, one, closing the airspace, but also not allowing open jump shots by Xavier.
All right, time for our first half stats, sponsored by Jeep Renegade. Take off and take on anything. Remember, Xavier shot 1 for 21 from the three-point line at Creighton on Tuesday. Different story in the first half here in Indianapolis.
Well, it is. You talk about the 65%, but also look at this, the bench points for Xavier. Important when you're on the road, that when your starters are out of the game, your bench comes in and gives you some boosted confidence.
Chris Holtman looking for a better defensive performance from his team here in the second half, down 43-29.
I thought Xavier Gus also did an excellent job of adjusting early on when they were giving up straight line drives to Butler, the layups. They took those drives away and made it tougher for Butler to get clean looks.
Musketeers with the basketball to start the second half. Sumner will bring it up the floor, draws Dunham. Miles Davis with 3 threes in that first half. Sumner, baseline, Abell, he's been hot. Martin with a rebound.
And Butler escaped. That time, another open opportunity. That time, not able to knock it in.
Keelan Martin with 11 points in the first half. He has 8 rebounds now. Dunham, top of the key. Step back, 18-footer, short. Blewett with the board. Now Sumner in transition. Slicing and trying to dice, no. Tapped around. Keelan Martin again. Martin from 16. Sumner. And it looks like an offensive foul called on James Farr.
And I know James Farr doesn't like it, but he initiated the contact. Watch his left shoulder right there. Step into it. And once you dislodge the defensive player, that's going to be a foul call. And he actually did it right in front of the official, so actually an easy call.
James Farr, senior from Evanston, Illinois, Maine Central Institute. He is their glue, their leader. Travis, guarded by Blewett, backs him down, turnaround jumper in the paint, off the heel. Roosevelt Jones grabs the offensive rebound. Travis from 20. Pure.
How many times have we seen it, Gus? Offensive rebound leads to a three-point shot, but rarely you're the guy that shot it. Now you got it back for a three.
Remy Abell. They swing it, and Blewett travel.
And one thing Butler did well is offensive rebound. Watch Travis right here. Just a little pump fake to the side, freezes Remy Abell, but opens up the jump shot. Abell knew that Kellen Dunham was there, so he had to make a decision.
Butler with 17 second chance points. 43-32. Start of the second half from Hinkle. Inside, stolen away by Sumner. And a reach-in foul on Roosevelt Jones.
And one of the few mistakes you'll see from Roosevelt Jones, kind of floated that pass in there. But a very good start for Butler. The first 4 to 5 minutes coming out of half, so important to establish what you want to do in the second half.
Pick and roll, Davis. Hands it off Sumner, curling down the lane on the big hop turnaround jump shot. They do that in Detroit. That's what you do at St. Cecilia.
St. Cecilia.
That's right.
Okay. St. Anne's, where I played a lot of. But the pace is that time for Sumner to get into the lane and not rush and jump stop with a nice high arcing jump hook.
Travis, guarded by Blewett again. He's going to use his size, kicks it out. Martin the three. Long rebound. Miles Davis has it taken away. Travis blocked. Loose ball, Rosie Jones. No call. James Farr says, this is my territory. Baseline. Abell. Baseline. Blewett for three. And here comes Roosevelt Jones. He's got Martin running the lane on the left side. Jones tries to hand it to him. Martin corrals it, kicks it. Dunham. Lost it.
I'm telling you, I think Sumner from Toledo. He said the elevation right there. I think maybe he went to the high school country day, but he's from Toledo. This is a Toledo move. Jump stop, elevated in the air, nothing but net.
Well, as we Detroiters like to say, Toledo is a Detroit suburb.
We were bound to go back and forth sooner or later.
Eventually,
you
Jimmy.
know it. But you tell you something how smart Sumner is on that last play. He knew that Kellen Dunham isolated Farr, and he came to help immediately to take away that advantage. Toledo came.
Sumner, hit that Dunham. And a foul coming up will go against Butler. Ball just not going down for the Dogs right now.
It's not, but credit because they're contesting shots. Again, taking away the easy drives early in the layups, forcing Butler to shoot over an extended defensive hand.
For Chris Holtman with a decision to make, Jones has 3 fouls now. He remains on the court. Dunham 1 for 5 from the field.
Xavier, I'm trying to get Roosevelt Jones involved in some kind of play to see if he can pick up a 4th foul.
And here comes the sub. as Jordan Gathers comes in, most likely to get Roosevelt Jones.
Number 5, Jordan Gathers.
Actually, he'll get Travis.
Wow. But that's Coach Holtman trusting that Roosevelt Jones will make the right decisions while he's on the court.
Somehow Dunham got caught Farr, and Dunham goes down. Farr knew immediately. He told his teammates to get him the ball.
Well, once he wheels inside the lane, that time Dunham was playing catch-up, and that's where the contact happened. And this is a physical game, Gus. I mean, the officials are doing a really good job of allowing the players to play aggressive defense. There's going to be some bumping.
Farr can't tap it in. And we'll head the other way.
Knows the basket's right there. You had 2 opportunities to put them in, not able to finish.
And you can just see the improvement. James Farr, every year he gets better and better and better. Unselfish, shows tremendous leadership.
And you know, he said the biggest thing that came from his weight loss is that his teammates trusted him a lot more because they saw him put in the work all summer to better himself.
Let's see if Martin and Dunham can get on track offensively. And a reaching foul coming up on Sumner. Sumner has caused Martin some problems. 15:54 to play. Second half, Sumner picks up his 3rd. Will he sit? We'll find out after this. For the first time in the regular season, the Villanova Wildcats are ranked #1 in both polls. The Wildcats are 21-3 with their next game tonight at home against St. John's. Remember, they won the national championship in '85. As we take a look at the AP Top 10, Nova in first place, followed by that Maryland team. Remember, Oklahoma beat Villanova in Hawaii. Iowa losing to Indiana at home recently. Then there's Xavier losing to Creighton. Kansas, everybody's loving Virginia. You know Tom Izzo and the Spartans are going to be there when it all counts. And how about Huggy Bear at the bottom at number 10 with West Virginia?
Well, how about West Virginia, known as a defensive-minded, slow-paced, rugged team, but stealing the basketball at will. And that's the difference with this team this year, is they don't go through those same scoring droughts that we saw previously from the Bob Huggies team.
Jones almost traveled. Dunham, quick release 3. KD. That's what they need.
Well, I love the fact, too, the play was drawn up during the timeout. Perfectly executed, whether you make or miss the shot, or sometimes you can't control. But they did execute the play, which counted.
They call that a 2-point field goal. Abell. Jalen Reynolds back on the floor. Didn't start the second half. And it's stolen away. Keelan Martin with great hands. Martin driving to the hole. And oh, they say he's tied up, jump ball. And the possession arrow does favor Butler.
I want you to keep your eye on when Macura comes down after the ball right here as it dips. He has a little bit of the hand, but again, the hand is a part of the ball in regards to that part of it. So I thought it was a good call by the official.
Travis, guarded by Reynolds. Dunham, can he get going? He's tricky with that ball. Dunham, baseline. There it is. Calling Dunham now, getting his confidence going. He has 7.
You know, at some point he's going to find his rhythm, and that time, excellent defense, but better roll by Dunham.
Reynolds spinning on the baseline and jams it down with 2 hands.
See, that's where Jaden Reynolds gets you, because he can tease you with those type of moves inside, unstoppable, but then Gus, at moments, he'll disappear.
Jones, skipping, short. Watch Miles Davis as he brings the ball up the floor. If you give him a crease, he'll let it fly. Davis to the basket, get a clutch. Knocked away, picked up. Jones. Here comes Rosie Jones. Martin on the left wing, right baseline, gathers 3. And here comes the Butler. And the fans right back in this game. They're on their feet at Hinkle. Established in 1928. Reynolds, cross court, Macura wide open, he doesn't see him. And a foul on the floor.
Gus, coaches work on this all day. 2-on-1, 3-on-2 fast break. This time, by having the court spread enough, now you got the angle. Jalen Reynolds can't get there in time to stop Gathers from getting the jump shot. It's knowing when to pass, when to attack. Excellent decision that time by Rosie Jones.
Travis picks up his first. 47-39. Butler on a 7-2 run. And another touch foul coming up. Looks like it will go against
the Bulldogs. 24, Kellen Dunn, the second, the fifth on the team.
Butler with offensive confidence now. They'd love to get a stop right here. Macura able to take some big shots, gets down the lane, left hand high and in.
Third time, Gus. Third time Remy Abell has been able to drive left and finish at the rim with no resistance.
It's Martin on the baseline. In the corner, takes a three. Roosevelt Jones tried to keep it alive. Blewett takes it away. 10-point lead. Reynolds.
Chris Holman now taking the timeout right here, allowing his guys to play through it to see if they can weather the onslaught by Xavier in the last couple of possessions.
Dunham crosses over, down the lane, and foul. He's hit hard.
Unbelievable that Remy Abell is still able to get to the basket. Gathers that time, darts out the way, gives up an easy basket inside, a little floater inside, and Jalen Reynolds dunking with authority.
Abell with 12 points, Reynolds with 6 now. As Kellen Dunham tries to shake it off.
Kellen Dunham at the line for your Bulldogs.
That last play in practice yesterday, they practiced getting the ball up high so Reynolds can catch it at the top of his apex, because no one for Butler really could compete with that.
In for Xavier 0, Larry Austin Jr. In for your Bulldogs, number 4, Tyler Whiteman. In for Xavier, number 2, James Barr.
I love the sounds of college basketball, especially at a legendary place like Hinkle Fieldhouse.
Because it's so intimate in here, you feel everything. You feel the contact, you feel the crunch, you hear the squeaks, the ball going through the rim.
Conversations on the free throw line.
That's right.
Macura, deep, bam. J.P Macura has in the gym range, folks. As soon as he gets off the bus and steps into Hinkle, he's ready to shoot it.
That was really good defense that time by Butler, but geez, he didn't need any space.
And a steal. Blewett, he's got Austin Jr. on the wing. Blewett down the lane to the bucket and in. I'm at home. This is what I do in Naptown.
And what a decision not to make the pass ahead, Gus. That time he wanted to hit on the wing, but he decided to keep the basketball because he didn't get stopped.
Jones down the lane now. And he's fouled hard by Farr. James Farr making it hard. Making players earn it, but right now, Blewett, coast to coast. Watch this, folks. When you're in Indiana, you got a jumper. Bam! And look at his reaction. Let's go Bulldogs.
That's right.
Let's go inside the huddle with Chris Mack.
Can't lose Dunham. Got to know where he's at, right? And this isn't good enough to just be like, okay, I got him. He's going to fire up 25-foot shots, okay? That's number one.
56-41, Xavier. Kellen Dunham trying to get warm offensively.
You knew he was going to find his rhythm in the second half, 2 of 4. Just creating a little space, getting into his rhythm. The tough play right here on Remy Abell did an excellent job. It looks like Kellen Dunham had the ball in his hand more.
All right, let's join Molly McGrath.
On Butler's side, Chris Holtmann very happy during that timeout. He told his team to settle down. He told Kellen Dunham specifically, I like how aggressive you're being. Keep contesting those shots. We can just keep trimming that lead possession by possession, guys.
You can't come back in one possession. It's all about possession. One, defensively, you get a stop. And on offense, that's what you got to do is get shots. You got to get quality shots. If you do that, you give yourself a chance to get back in this game.
So Roosevelt Jones at the line. Had a triple-double against St. John's last Saturday. 10 points, 14 rebounds, 10 assists. Second one goes. Macura. Reynolds hard across the lane. And an offensive foul call. And that's his fourth.
Coach Mack not happy to see if Travis is able to get there in time. I still think it was a little bit movement, maybe a half a step late for Jalen to be called Reynolds for that offensive foul.
So Kaiser Gates checks in for Jalen Reynolds, who will sit with his fourth foul at the 11:27 mark.
Switch defense. Xavier going to that potent and that packet 1-3-1.
Jones inside. Travis far keeps his hands up, but Travis makes it in. 12 points for Andrew.
Man, patient that time, knowing that Farr was there, powered through the outstretched arms of James Farr to score.
Xavier's done a nice job shooting the ball from the three-point line. 9 of 14. Blew it off balance. Rebounded by Jones. He'll lead the break. He's got Travis and Weidman. Right wing gathers. Jones with the offensive board. Gathers again.
Two quality looks right there, Gus. Again, in transition, the best time to pull up for a three. An opportunity, like we saw, to get an offensive rebound.
And an offensive foul. Looks like Austin.
Yeah, Gus, the no-no against the zone. It's allowed the ball to get right in the middle. And basically, you're playing one-on-one. Travis, that time, excellent job of carving out space, being patient, able to finish.
Keelan Martin comes back in. Martin with 11 points. He has not scored in the second half. Expect him to really start getting it going. Travis, reversal, gathers, baseline, Martin, 8 to shoot, drives, and banks it in.
What I was going to say, Gus, he hasn't had opportunities, but the beauty about being a starter now, knowing you're going to get the ball, you can pick and choose your spots.
Lead cut to 10. Xavier's led by as many as 15. Butler on a 5-0 run. Sumner has shown an ability to get in the paint when he needs it. Baseline, far. This is his sweet spot. And a foul on the floor.
Part of your maturity in your game is understanding patience. And this time, Keelan Martin, instead of settling for a contested jump shot, uses his ability to beat him off the dribble, get inside, lucky bounce in his hand, but still finish.
First basket of the second half for Keelan Martin. Weidman called for the foul. 6th team foul against Butler. Inside, loose, and that one goes down for Kaiser Gates.
And it may not seem a lot, but the ability to gather that, the basketball, and then with a soft touch with no backboard angle to put it in, shows the skill set that this freshman has.
Jones. Inside, Weidman, no. Gates rips it down. And that's one thing. They've sat on Roosevelt Jones this afternoon. He's 2 for 9 from the field. Now Sumner wraps it. Far can't hold on, and out of bounds. Keelan Martin.
The officials made an adjustment in the first half, Gus. Roosevelt Jones initiating contact early would get the foul, but later on they took that away. They knew that's what he was trying to do. They initiate the contact on the defender. They're letting them play through right now.
KD comes back in for Gathers. Sumner.
Butler basketball. In for your Bulldogs, number 1, Tyler Lewis. Number 10, Remy Abell in for Xavier.
That right there, Gus, was a little example, think of a fatigue turnover by Sumner, not looking the ball in his hands, a la like a receiver, making a move before you have possession.
14th turnover for Xavier. They average 13 a game. Tyler Lewis is checked in now with the ball. Travis curling to the basket, and he missed the layup, and a foul coming up over the back on Weidman.
Oh, that was a tough one right there, because I thought Weidman had enough space in between him, and I think it was inside Kaiser Gates where he had enough room and not really a lot of contact. That's a tough call on Weidman.
So Butler over the limit. Xavier shooting 1-1. Gates with 5 points. Gates has 2 double-figure games this season, including a 10-point game against Butler on January 2nd.
That's one of the strengths of the Xavier team, guys, is the depth. The ability to bring guys off the bench that enhance what you're doing offensively and defensively.
Now Blewett comes back in as Miles Davis heads to the bench. 60-46. Dunham for 3. And Farr with another rebound. He has been terrific on the boards. His 9th. Blewett, 15-footer off the bounce.
Sometimes like Blewett can get his feet and balance up underneath him. That's why the shot came up short.
Dunham splitting. Lewis a 3. And another rebound for guess who?
James Farr.
Bread and butter.
But my man is just controlling the paint down there. I mean, everything that's coming off, he's either contesting a shot or he's influenced the rebounding inside. What a job inside by Farr this afternoon.
Farr calling for it inside.
Give it to him.
Give it to him.
Let him eat.
6 to shoot. Here's Farr, 4 to shoot. He can hit that. Snatched down by Martin. His 11th rebound. Another double-double for Keelan Martin. Martin, mid-range. I love the sound of James Farr's rebound.
But he's so aggressive. He's going after everything. And it's important. I know Kellen Dunham wants to get a shot up. He has to be patient enough to allow the offense to work to get him some clean looks.
Sumner, curling. Oh, balance ended.
And some dudes just know how to score, guys. You play with it. You know, some guys like a Roosevelt Jones, Sumner the same way, just knows how to score.
And a timeout call by Butler. 6:30 to go, second half. Xavier, all business all the time.
Detroit City's finest. With a soft touch off the glass.
It's been a physical one during the dog days of play in the Big East. 62-46 Xavier leading Butler with 6:30 to go. Time for the Lexus playbook.
Well, Because there's a reason why the bench for Xavier has 28 points, as J.P Macura has 11 of those points, freeing himself up behind the three-point arc, not forcing shots. And you know, as I know, Gus, any little room, Macura will make you pay for it.
J.P Macura really stroking the basketball. The average is about 10 points a game on the season. Macura from Minnesota. I remember kidding with him one day. I said, I've never seen a kid from Minnesota with that kind of jump shot. He said, obviously, Gus, you haven't been to Minnesota.
He's exactly right.
And the ball knocked away, stolen by Sumner. Dunham back, Sumner to the basket strip. Dunham picks it up. Gates running with it.
Yeah, that's what a play that time by Dunham, not giving up.
Travis deep. Nice rebound and box out by Abell. Abell has done a terrific job today.
Well, yeah, think about the challenge he has. Not only have to guard Dunham, but also defensively do some other things, score the basketball. Some good looks by Butler that time, not able to knock it in. But yes, Abell doing an outstanding job on both ends of the court.
Abell, the Indiana transfer, blew it. Double clutch, got it. Trayvon Blewett has lost about 20 pounds, folks, since his freshman year. Jones, baseline, Martin. Martin with 15 now.
And Martin made that shot look easy, that in-between baseline shot with no angle. Especially moving forward, able to float it in there with a feathery touch.
Gates, I'm impressed with his athleticism and maturity as a freshman. Sumner, the other freshman, watch out. Oh, Detroit.
But Kellen Dunham did an excellent job of cutting Sumner off at the initial thrust, but no help in the middle once he got free of Dunham.
Inside, Jones draws a double team. Lewis, 15-footer. Roosevelt Jones with the rebound. Inside, no. Gates just kept his hands up high. Used that 6 feet 8 inch frame to contest.
This is where the athleticism and size just pays off. And some teams, guys, have just had hard to match up with. Bad matchups. And right now, the Xavier team is just a tough matchup with this undersized Butler team.
Now Sumner taking his time. 6 to shoot. They spread it for him. Explode. Blewett, quick release. Gates, look at him get up. And a new shot clock for the Musketeers. Kaiser Gates is going to be a player for Chris Mack.
And what you love about him, Gus, is that he plays within his role. He's not trying to do too much. Game-winning type plays. That's what that was. Offensive rebound. He just has another possession.
Sumner. That Motor City handle. Watch it. Gates, a 3. And Roosevelt Jones called for a foul. Well, watch this kid.
I'm going to give him a little love, okay? Give him Detroit love inside with the spin rule, a la George Gervin a little bit, the finger roll inside. Sumner breaking out as an X factor for the Xavier team. Loving it. Still might be from Toledo.
Don't miss a single Big East basketball game this season. Add the full schedule to your calendar by going to foxsports.com/Big East TV now. And the standings in the conference. Xavier trailing Villanova. Musketeers looking for their 10th win of the season. Villanova, the #1 team in the nation. Bulldogs at 500. Georgetown losing today. Providence beating them. How about Creighton?
Always a tough play. But it's the microcosm, I think, of what's going around in college basketball. Because you don't have a dominant team. The conferences, the Pac-12, the Big 12, Big 10, Big East, they're knocking each other off. And it's a good thing from a perspective of continuity and excitement. But it's tough if you're one of the top teams because every game is tough.
Xavier lost to Creighton 70-56 in Omaha on Tuesday. How about Mo Watson? A career-high 32 points. Gathers.
I love the stroke. This young man got a beautiful stroke. Effortlessly.
66-51, 3:17 to go. Xavier refusing to put it on cruise control. Blew it. 10 to shoot. Now Sumner. They spread it. Sumner quickly down the lane. And he's fouled. Trying to hang in there. Gathered himself. And knocks it down. Dominating performance by the Xavier Musketeers, the 5th-ranked team in the nation. As we take a look at their next 5.
Tough schedule. That's never easy. Riddick, Georgetown, Providence, Villanova, at Seton Hall. Where's an easy game in there? It's none whatsoever, but that's the challenge of the Big East this year, along with other conferences. And if you look at Butler, it's the same thing. The ability to get quality wins. Creighton at home, and then Villanova at Villanova and Georgetown, 2 games back-to-back on the road. But you got to split that somehow and get a much-needed road victory.
Chris Holtman saying that their goal is to get 10 wins in the conference, and that they feel that will allow them to advance to the NCAA tournament.
Well, especially with the RPI rating of the Big East this year, number of teams that are in the top 25, high-quality wins. If you don't get in with 10 wins in this conference, something is wrong.
Meanwhile, Sumner at the line. He has 9 points, 3 assists. Young man has an incredible upside.
They raved so much about him last year when he was out during his redshirt season. You know, a lot of times the coaches will hype that up, Gus, and we don't know if it's real. But guess what? It's real.
Martin pulls up. His offense not there this afternoon. Keelan Martin. He has 15 points. But he's 6 for 19 from the field.
Yeah, and there are plenty more opportunities. And this is one of those growth moments for him as a player.
Foul inside coming up against Butler with 2:22 to go. Chris Mack, understated, disciplined, former Butler, former Xavier player, captain. And you could just see that leadership. You could see that this team has taken on his personality. He's a tough guy.
Well, they respond to his voice. You know, a lot of times when you have a coach that has that kind of intensity, players have the tendency to want to shut you up.
And he's not even the toughest or the best basketball player in his family.
No, how about that?
Huh?
Wifey, you think still probably getting right now? What do you think?
There's no question that Christie would dominate him on the basketball court. Gathers. And Lewis loses it. 2 minutes to play. Second half. 68-51 Xavier. Sumner. 10 to shoot, and Sumner backs it up. Here's Sumner, guarded by Gathers, playing him to his left hand. Blewitt fires. Gathers pulls it down with 1:35 to go. Etherington on the baseline.
Austin Etherington, a 3.
And now Xavier taking their time. Musketeers looking for their 22nd win of the season, their 10th win in conference play. Trey Blewitt.
1 minute to go.
5 seconds to go. Sumner driving, stripped, gets it back, and a foul. There's Christie. Look at the intensity. That's a player. Back then, Christie Hester. was a standout player for the Dayton Flyers from 96 to 2000, scored 1,268 career points, and was inducted into the Dayton Athletic Hall of Fame in 2014. Both of their daughters play basketball.
Sean O'Mara in for Xavier, in for your Bulldogs, 51 Nate Fowler and 13 Jackson Davis.
Chris Mack demoted this week to the assistant coach position on his daughter's team.
Hey, Gus, can you imagine the conversations after a tough loss with Xavier? Chris comes home and his wife is right there. Listen,
and he wants some sympathy.
No sympathy.
Zero.
Like what were you thinking about when you called? Why didn't you come out the zone? That's what you're gonna hear when you come home. And he got a nod. I said, like, Johnny, you're right.
Yeah, whatever you say.
You know.
Lewis, Steve. Lewis hits a jump shot. 42.8 to go. Austin Jr. walks it in the front court, so Xavier will improve to 22-3, 10-3 in conference play. They're 7-2 now on the road. As for Butler, they'll fall to 17-8, 6-7 in the Big East with a 10-3 record here in Hinkle. Austin Jr. inside, Blewett. They'll lay it in. Trey Blewett returns home, 11 points. Macura, explanation point. Not only can he shoot the J, he can get up as well. Lewis. And Macura with the rebound, and that's it. 74-57 the final. Chris Mack and Holtman shaking hands. The Xavier Musketeers ranked 5th in the nation. Rebound from their loss to Creighton in Omaha on Tuesday. For Jimmy Jackson, Molly McGrath, this is Gus Johnson saying so long from Naptown. Final score 74-57. X-Men. You've been watching Big East basketball.